This is Batman. You're watching Kyle Reviewed.
Hey guys, just finished watching Batwoman Season 1, Episode 9, Crisis on Infinite Earths, Part 2. Oh my god, what an episode. So this is where we finally get Kevin Conroy, Brian Ralph Superman, and we get Tom Welling back as Superman, or as Clark Kent from Smallville, which was an interesting storyline to that. He's on Earth 167, which I was wondering why it didn't make and understand that the number is not really anything significant to me, so I can't really connect it to if it's just a random number or something, but I don't see any connection there, but that's kind of interesting there. It is quite interesting there. We do get Tom Welling as Superman, as Clark Kent. He's given up his powers. That's the big thing we get there. Find out kryptonite doesn't affect him. He's no longer Kryptonian. He's given up his powers to have a family. So it was an interesting storyline to do that. I don't know. I mean, if that's all we get from it, I've heard he was on there for like 2 days, which this could have been it, but it seems like very little for 2 days worth of stuff. Maybe 1 day worth of stuff. And you know, I'm really diehard Smallville fan. I grew up watching Smallville. You know, I can really love Smallville. So I definitely can't wait. You know, hoping that there might be a little bit more, but I feel like that's probably it. And I think it's an interesting ending to his stuff. I would have liked to have seen him, obviously, maybe a part of some sort of have him wear a suit or something. If not, at least maybe just like a red and blues colored shirt or something would have been interesting. Or having him in, you know, the farm colors and stuff that he wore as Smallville in the earlier seasons. Maybe the leather jacket and stuff could be interesting, but the actual farm colors would have been really kind of cool, like the big brown jacket with the big red jacket with the blue t-shirt underneath. But it was an interesting storyline for that, so I kind of think it could be interesting. So we'll have to wait and see, but I think it's going to be quite cool. It was a nice send-off to the character. Am I a little bit disappointed that we didn't just get to see him to do anything with powers or anything like that? But I guess it is what it is. So we'll have to wait and see as to where things kind of go with that. But I feel like that's it for Smallville. So a little disappointed that it's just like a blink and you miss it. It's like a little definitely longer than some of the earlier stuff we got last episode. But, you know, it is what it is. And nice seeing him back as Superman. We get Kevin Conroy as Superman, and he ends up dying in this episode. So that was kind of surprising. Didn't see that, and Kevin Conroy was amazing here, especially as he's being introduced. Before you see him, you hear him, and obviously have to do that because he's a voice actor, right? And he's so good at Bruce Wayne. And then, you know, as that voice, even in character, like, he was just so good at that voice. It's perfect. And you can even hear his character from the cartoons and stuff, and then seeing it coming out of him is just so really cool. And then we get one of the Earths where we just see that the death of Superman has already happened, and we see the death of Superman, the flag. I wish we had kind of zoomed in onto that Earth type thing, or maybe we zoom out from it, or just kind of got that full Lois lying over Superman with the cape, the ripped cape in the background. I wish we had zoomed into that full screen or panned out of the actual kind of TV with that on there, just so we could get that full size and actually be able to, frame that, because that would be a great thing you could put out there as posters. I would totally love to be able to, freeze frame it to make that a poster type thing. That would be a really cool thing to have. Make that the background on a computer or something, but they don't let us zoom in enough on it, so it's disappointing there that we didn't get like a full, like just a couple of seconds, couple of frames, and zooming out of that monitor, that TV screen. And then we get, they put Oliver in the Lazarus pit, and we end with not knowing what's going on with that, and looks like Constantine's not able to bring him back. I mean, last time he brought someone back, which was Sarah, they had to go actually inside of her mind to kind of search around. It was a whole episode inside of her head to try and bring her back, and they don't have time to do anything like that here in this crossover, so we'll have to wait and see as to where things go with that. It will be quite interesting to play around. And then we have, we see Ray. I noticed that Ray, especially throughout this episode, from last episode to this episode, his hair completely changed. No explanation at all. And even I think early scenes in this episode, he has Ray hair, and then all of a sudden he has Superman hair. I noticed that a few times after they were holding on, and it was like, why is his hair all of a sudden gray? The slight gray tints in it. Oh, it's the same color as Superman. So it's just kind of funny. Obviously, you'd have the same length hair, but that they kept the same color hair, even though his Superman's supposed to be a little bit older than him as Ray. So we see that, and then we end the episode with we also get a reference to when we see the two Superman fighting throughout this episode, we get a reference to, oh yeah, I've done that before. I fought myself before, which is a reference to the Superman movie with Christopher Reeve when he fought a darker version of himself. That was quite cool there. And then we end the episode with Lila meeting the Anti-Monitor. So really exciting. Definitely can't wait to see where things go with this. I don't know how I feel about that Smallville ending, just because there was a key moment in the last season of Smallville was about was between Clark and Lois. One of their character developments in the 10th season that I still remember to this day, and I tried rewatching it and I didn't make it to the 10th season before this crossover. But one of the key things from the season 10 was that Lois was worried about, how can I marry you? How can I have you with me? Because every second you're with me, you're not out there saving someone, So it just seems a bit jarring for them. It seems a bit slightly out of character, but I understand the nice solitude, closing a lid on it, and probably Tom Welling and them not wanting to come back unless, they wrapped it on a bow, something like that, and that's probably something that they wanted to do. So we'll have to wait and see. There's always a hope that he might appear somewhere, somehow, in green screen wise later on, and then next year's end in the last two episodes, or probably the last episode of the show. Still hoping for some sort of an Endgame style. Everyone shows up. That's always a possibility, but we'll have to wait and see. And some of the CGI was a little bit, but it is what it is. So let me know what you think, guys, about this episode in the comments below. Season 1, Episode 9, Crisis on Infinite Earth, Part 2. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Hi, this is Kevin Conroy, talking to you from the library of Wayne Manor. You may know me as Batman. I just want you to know that you're watching Kyle Reviewed. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman.